Folks, what the crap's going on? Here we are, almost 30 episodes in, or I guess it is 30 episodes, and we are very close to the finishing, at least technically speaking, of this campaign, which is the victory requirements of 50 regions, including Rome. In fact, we're only 2 away, and we have multiple settlements under siege. And I figured to make this more interesting, we should fight these siege battles. And, you know, not necessarily just sit here and try and siege the AI out, because we know that the AI is quite inept, that we'll actually, we'll go in and we'll try and take them out, take them out of power. Let's see, so we could have a big fight outside of Jerusalem. I have Apollonia besieged. I don't have the equipment yet here. Continue to make sure and get some extra rams out of all these places. And it looks like our building stuff is pretty much all set, except for Nepte here. Not that I'm like seriously worried about buildings at this point, because being this close to the end of the campaign, how much difference these buildings make is probably questionable. But regardless, this is what you do when you're playing a campaign. You build, especially when you got like almost 200,000 denarii sitting in our coffers up here, which is a significant amount of funding in any circumstance. Let's see, Trier and Salona. All right, let's see what this turn-in message. Oh, we have a suitable husband again, and that's another one at Carthage. So I've got 2 more commanders here. I'm going to sail them this direction. Got a small Macedonian fleet here that's blockading this new ship that I trained. I don't have any movement points with these fleets at the moment. I'll kill it on the next turn if it's still there. Shouldn't be a huge deal, but we got even more commanders on the way to the front. Got our pointy infantry training, and then we are training additional troops at Corinth just because we can, and it will help us hold the settlement and attempt to strike out there too and take on more enemies. Let's see here. Moving our different folks. It's gonna be a pretty long turn-in screen nowadays. Is Egypt gonna fight? No, they didn't come out and fight me, but they did attack one of my fleets. Is this the fleet that I've got the, I think this is the fleet that I have the characters on. Wow, we won and we sunk 3 Egyptian ships in the process. Dang, man, my navies are stacked. And Egypt is going to come out and fight us. Now, this is... Oh, I thought they would bring the reinforcements from the town. They did not. I don't know if that's like a choice thing for them. Boy, Xenophanes has some command authority here. Well, let's put these Egyptians down. I figured they would bring reinforcements from the settlement, but somehow they did not here. I guess we weren't close enough to the settlement for them to be drawn into this battle. But, I mean, that's okay. If we can put down these reinforcements with minimal losses, which is the hope, then we can lay siege to the settlement. Put the Egyptians in a pretty bad place indeed. Plus, you know, who doesn't like another big battle? How about that last episode? What'd you all think of that battle with the Macedonians? It's freaking awesome. In fact, that was one of the most fun campaign battles that I've played. Right up there with that battle I played with Marathi that I made a video out of. Where it was like me versus thousands and thousands of Bretonians, and I won this epic victory with Marathi. So, I mean, I love those kind of battles. They're memorable. They're fun, and it just adds a lot to the game, so I love that kind of stuff. Alright, let's get my infantry stacked up. Yeah, it doesn't really matter a whole lot where I deploy, but I'm going to go ahead and deploy a little bit on a flank here. And let's see, skirmishers. I'm just going to kind of spread the skirmishers out thin. Gonna line up front in case the chariots want to YOLO straight at me, which they very well might. Got my elephants. Kind of think about putting them all on the same flank with the archers and then overloading round shield cav on the other flank, because my elephants will be a pretty big stopping force on whichever flank they're at. Okay, Egypt is just facing right at me. That's fine. They've got the range advantage. What do they got? Bowmen, slingers, Pharaoh's bowmen, Nubian cav, chariot archers, Egyptian chariot archers. All right, well, let's push forward just a little bit. Not too much though. It looks like the Egyptians are charging at me, so let's actually stop short here. Is that Nubian cav wanting to just roll right in? I think it is. Let's overload the Nubian cav. I'm gonna go ahead and start a missile attack against the Egyptian chariot archers. A few different units. The Nubian cav just stood still and took this, and they got wrecked. I don't know if we can catch that chariot archer or not, but there's another Nubian cavalry here. Let's see if we can put a beating on them. Oh, my elephants are on fire at will, but I thought they had a missile attack. They don't, but we're going to catch the chariots somehow, regardless. That will not be good for the Egyptians. Took an artillery hit here, which kind of sucks. Alright, wrapped up those guys. Let's see if we can get lucky and catch these chariot archers. My elephants should crunch these Egyptian chariot archers. Yep, they're broken. Woo! We just took a lot of missile fire there, though. And we got bowmen. Oh, yeah, the elephants went amok. That sucks. That kind of sucks. I'm not going to kill the elephants, though. Oh, we did catch those Egyptian chariot archers. Alright, I'm going to send a couple units back to kill ballista crews, and then I'm going to send some infantry up to help me wipe out Pharaoh's bowmen. It's a desert cavalry chasing me out here. Stand and fight so that we can try and ensnare that desert cav. Put a quick hit on those Pharaoh's bows. It probably won't rout them, but hopefully I can get some damage done.
He does not stand but runs away. Is there any point in killing him?
I don't know. We're getting a pretty good hit. Yeah, we routed those Pharaoh's bows. That's fantastic. Alright, we got the charge out there. Routed the enemy general. We're going to have to be careful of those rampaging elephants. Alright, this battle hasn't been perfectly clean for me, but it's been okay. We just need to wipe out a few more units here. And we will have taken, you know, I think relatively few losses. Snile Spearman's completely surrounded. Honestly, it must be the chevronage and the upgrades. Otherwise, I'm totally surprised they're still even in that fight. Some slingers here with the elephants nearby. Then a hit from the cavalry. Hopefully it won't take much to, yep, escort those guys to the afterlife. Comes a Nubian cavalry on a suicide run. All we have is a few regrouped units out here. Though it looks like for the most part the Egyptians are fleeing, which is good news for me. Like I said, I think pretty small losses here. Yeah, their artillery crew was coming back for seconds. The rest of their army was intelligent enough to flee. Bowman, Pharaoh's bow. Let's see if we can hit these Pharaoh's bows on their way off the map. Kind of split up my cavalry. It's a long ways to the edge of the map. We might be able to catch some of these guys. These Pharaoh's bows are so tough. Saw that, like they'd already routed once, we caught them, and they still turned around and put up a little bit of a fight before they routed. Yeah, those units are not to be underestimated. Mercenary war elephants are just running around mad everywhere. There's still a few of them left, so we'll get away with some of them. Just shy of 300 losses to our army there. That's not bad. It's definitely doable.
Glorious victory.
I think a fair number of those losses probably came from our Bedouins as well, which is not really a huge loss to me. In fact, I could probably disband the Bedouins, grab another mercenary unit, I have enough elephants that I think they'll be worth keeping. At least I think so. Yeah, let's disband the Bedouins. They served us well. And let's grab a unit of Bedouin warriors. And that should do. Let's go ahead and besiege this settlement. A whole bunch of siege equipment. Oh man, Egypt is screwed. Yeah, Egypt's screwed. They're in a bad place in life right now. They are not loving life at the moment. Promise you that much. Got a pretty decent smattering of plenty infantry here. I'd like to get this army out and back at work, but I mean the game may be over before all that happens. Because I've now got my rams at Apollonia, and I'm gonna go fight this, see if we can win. Pretty sure we can, especially we got these mercenary skirmish units. So, feeling pretty confident here. But you never know. I've lost battles that I thought I was going to win before. It's a thing. Hopefully not a thing that happens too frequently, but it's a thing. Get loaded up into this one and see what we're up against here. Man, this game has been a lot of fun. Like, it has been a lot of fun. I get messages from a lot of people, either in my Discord or just in comments, stuff saying that I didn't really like Rome Total War Remastered. I didn't think it was any good. And I don't know that this is always the case, but like some of you may be in error. Why do you like this game? Modern Total Wars are just a whole lot better. They are. Like modern Total Wars are undeniably better than this game. I mean, there's no doubt about it. They're just better on pretty much every way. Now, that said, this game is a nostalgia factor for me, right? I played it back in the day. I played it when this game was still being played by a lot of people in the Total War community. I played it on multiplayer, I played it on campaign. This is where my first videos were ever made, was on Rome Total War. And so the game has a huge nostalgia factor for me. And that's probably why I find it so fun. I loved it back then, and I love it now. Is it a flawed game? Oh yeah. Yeah, it's flawed. You all have seen that as I've played, and it's not like I've been hiding it, you know? It's not like when we have terrible pathfinding in the settlement, I'm like, no, this is great. Just ignore anything bad that someone says. No, I mean, the pathfinding is terrible in settlement battles. Like, it is legit awful. And there's other problems with the game, right? But despite those problems, why I love Rome Total War Remastered is because this game gives me a chance to go re-experience the nostalgia that I had around this game, and to not have to do it with really crappy old controls, old textures, and possibly unstable, you know, on new systems. I get a game that runs smooth, that has all kinds of new UI features, new features that they added. Well, they didn't fix the AI. Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they didn't. I mean, we all would have loved it had they been able to fix more of that kind of stuff, but they didn't. And the way it is, though, I love this game. I like it a lot, and I've enjoyed this playthrough. I don't know if any more of like Rome content like this will be on my channel. Like, I don't know that I'm gonna go play every campaign in this game or, you know, something like that. I'm just saying that I enjoyed the crap out of this game, and I enjoyed this campaign. You all can tell at the pace. I mean, I cranked this thing out at a near daily pace for weeks on end because I'm having so much fun recording it. So it's been really good, is what I'm trying to say. Just long story short, the game's been really great for me, and I appreciate those of you who are watching it. I probably have viewers who don't like this content, and that's also totally fine because this game's very different than my Warhammer content. This game's very old, doesn't look as good, doesn't play as good in many ways, and so I can understand why some people don't like it, or they're just not interested in historical Total Wars. Again, all that's totally fine. No problem with that, but this is what I wanted to make right now, and so I made it. And I'm going to get back to the Atomo campaign. I'm going to have more Warhammer 2 action. I think I've got Mrs. Air talked into doing a co-op campaign with me on Warhammer 2. So I think we're going to do that here soon. I got lots of fun stuff coming up that I'm working on. In fact, I'm always behind, but, you know, trying to get there. My Cretans are unleashing an old unholy Hades all over the enemy forces. This is great. I've already gotten quite a few kills.
Through the enemy walls. Show no mercy. Order them to finish the defenders.
Alright, yeah, we've already killed a couple hundred of their forces, but just missiles. And I'm gonna let my missiles, you know, keep raining. Because we're gonna have issues. Let's get these militia, get these mercenary hoplites in here. I'm gonna send another 20 infantry that way. Send one more here. Let's send one more here. Alright. I just need to get this mercenary hoplite into position. And in a nice defensive position to help me get even more forces through the walls. Skirmishing phase has been very successful. Look at this phalanx pike unit got absolutely gutted. I'm gonna kind of move this unit through. Try and stay in phalanx formation as best I can. Got 20 infantry moving in there. I got a unit in here. I'm gonna take another unit in. I should be able to block off this access point here. Alright. Yeah, my Cretans, meanwhile, are just like, I mean, they are really putting in some beautiful support fire here. Actually gonna try and get these units side by side here. Ooh, I did get a pony infantry inside here. Get into phalanx formation there. Should be able to beat back those militia hoplites with relative ease. And let's bring this unit this way. Alright, let's edge forward here. Chopping our way through a phalanx pikeman right here. Looks like it's going pretty darn good for me. And I can now run some units in through the gate here as well. Alright, these phalanx pikes are going to get wrecked. Let's see, let's move in some reinforcements. Alright, those guys got wrecked. What's going on here? A little bit of phalanx weirdness here. I'm going to give a cease order there, so hopefully we can get in the right formation. Yeah, the pathfinding's making our phalanx combat just a little wonky. But it's going okay. Could be worse. I wish these guys were dying a little faster, but they're dying. So all in all, we'll take it. Let's get over here and help these guys on their path to the afterlife. And let's get our cavalry moved over here, get in a position to try and outflank the enemy some. Check out these guys. Doing a little moonwalk phalanx here. All of my guys are mostly fighting with their alternate attack. We've got a few guys piked down, but the pathfinding's making that difficult. You can see the pikes on the phalanx pikemen a bit longer than the spears coming from my phalanx. We've had this discussion about, you know, some of the differences in phalanx units in this game. That is certainly one of them. The length of the pike is different and can sometimes play a role. Woohoo! Just in time for that Macedonian cavalry charge. Try and get my unit a stop order here and keep those spears down. We'd rather be fighting against this Macedonian cavalry with our spears. It's actually holding up pretty well, all things considered. Cannot get this unit to reform. Reform! And all kinds of weirdness here. Yeah, now I've got 2 cavalry units, including an armored bodyguard, piled into this pony infantry, and we're starting to take a lot of losses. I'm going to try and get into phalanx and come support. It's going to be difficult, though. Our 20 infantry is kind of getting overwhelmed here because they can't really fight in their phalanx properly. They're getting pushed around by that cavalry. And so they can't really fight properly. When they get piled up like this, you can have cavalry units, especially ones with 2 hit points and armored, like a bodyguard unit. Makes it incredibly difficult in these street fights. It helps protect the cavalry unit, more or less. So the AI is definitely going to get its money's worth out of these units at the moment. But with all of the reinforcements here, it's not likely they're going to be able to chop through 2 full units of armored infantry. I'm gonna pop out of phalanx formation there. Start approaching the town center. Wreck those guys. Let's move in here. Keep the outflanking going on here. Wow, this bodyguard though has put up far more of a fight than I would like. I'm gonna send in yet another unit. That is insane, the fight that we've gotten out of this bodyguard. I don't have great hopes for my men to actually fight in phalanx, but I'm gonna attempt it. I'll keep pushing backspace, try and get some of my spears down here, but it's gonna be difficult to get it right. There we go. That bodyguard has probably gotten 100 kills in close quarters combat here, which is utterly obnoxious, but good for the Macedonians. Look at the pathfinding. See my guys go and bump up against the building before they get up here, and I'm going to be able to drop my pike or my spears. I keep saying pikes because they kind of are pikes the way that the game portrays them from an animation standpoint, but they're not really pikes because it's a hoplite phalanx and not a pike phalanx. But the game portrays all phalanx units in this game as a pike phalanx. It's just there's one variety with pikes that are shorter and one variety with pikes that are longer. This is actually turning into a bit of a messy situation up here. This bodyguard, I can't kill it. He's killed a whole unit of 20. And it is really turning into a mess. And I may lose this fight against this phalanx because my guys won't fight in phalanx. And their guys are pretty well in one. And they have longer reach with their spears. So I may lose that as well. Don't really know yet. I'm going to try and get some support in behind this fight so that hopefully I can end the reign of terror of this bodyguard. I don't know whether it's going to happen. Let's see if I get as lucky as the AI when it comes to charging these phalanx in the streets, or if like my whole cavalry unit dies on the front of these few spearmen. Come on, get out of here. Alright, broke him. Alright, now get up here and attack this. This is nuts, man. 9 units left in that bodyguard. He's still fighting. He's probably got like 200 kills. Oh crap, now I'm pincered between 2 phalanx units here. This is bad. Well, if I have to attack one, I'm gonna attack that one. Shoot. Yeah, I'm pincered between these 2 phalanx units. I'm gonna back up just a little bit here. Try and outflank there. Okay, I did manage to rout that unit. It's good news. Got the enemy general. Holy crap, he finally died. That guy was a hoss, man. He would have made Alexander proud. He would have made Alexander proud with that stand. And that was quite the stand. I'm gonna charge this pike phalanx from behind with a bunch of infantry and try and fix it and then smack into the back of it with cavalry. So I'm gonna just get their attention, get them into an alternate combat here, hopefully get their pikes to face away from my cavalry. Like to get into the back of that militia hoplite unit as well. Come on, get that pike phalanx. Stay on him. Don't let him walk away from you like that. Get on these guys. Freaking crap. How are you getting outrun by a Macedonian pike phalanx here? Let's get up here. My guys are like easing forward nice and slow in the streets for some reason. I can't figure out. We've managed to surround and annihilate the units on the town square. And that should give me the victory here shortly. I'm gonna try and get into melee again. Okay, can you all just run up here? Like, forget the melee. Like, just run. Like, run up the street. My guys are like creeping forward because like one of them is in melee. I think I can keep the Macedonian units from getting back into the town square. And this should rout them when they get pincered here. There we go. Wavering. They're lasting longer than I would have thought. There we go. Got him. I wish it would show. Yeah, will it show me? Look at that, 122 kills on that general's armored bodyguard. That was headlong into armored hoplite phalanx. Pony infantry are probably not the world's most spectacular hoplite phalanx, but they're pretty good. And I mean, that bodyguard was boss mode. Straight up boss mode right there. It's another completely decrepit town that we've been left by the Macedonians here. Devoid of any population or value. So the Macedonians really good at managing their settlements. Really good. Oh my gosh. Let's see, we got more peasants. Let's these over here, start disbanding them. Should all be just disbanding into... Are we still that low? Oh, am I not in the right? I think they're disbanding into Salona right there. They are. Interesting, the way that boundary works. I've been disbanding them into Salona. Oh well. Salona, however you want to say it. I need the population in both places, so it doesn't really make a whole heck of a lot of difference. So pulling all that population out. So that puts us at 49. And we could end the campaign right here at however you pronounce this. I don't I and you together, that doesn't work for me. Let's fight this one. Pretty sure we can take the Germanians out. They do have a couple of spear war bands and some axemen. Now, axemen are not to be underestimated here. They are not what I want to be fighting without a phalanx when it comes to my armored infantry. Might be better to try and throw Iberians at them because the axe units, I think, do best against armor. And may be better for me to just get my Iberians into combat with them.
Even now, fear works its magic into our...
Alright, let's start this up. Who's carrying the rams? Iberians, 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 Libyans. Let's drop this. Okay. Want to punch as many holes in the wall as possible. All right. All right. I've got my rams on the way. Let's fast forward. See if we lose any rams. We might. It's happened before. Occasionally those towers will light up one of my rams and we'll lose it. So far, so good.
The soldiers and the battling ram are at the walls. Now comes the test of their courage.
What do we got over here? That is a spear war band, so I want a pony infantry over here. Fast forward. I'm gonna send these Libyans to pick up that ram and bash a hole in the gates afterwards. Let's move up just a little here. Another infantry ready to stack up there. Alright, keep going. About to have holes in the walls. I've got axemen inside here. Axemen there. I'm gonna send an extra Iberian infantry up here. Stack up a Libyan infantry behind there too.
Your soldiers are through the enemy walls. Show
Okay,
no mercy.
good.
Order them to finish the defenders.
I'm gonna send my 20 infantry up here. And move this one back over. This can actually be kind of a rough fight up here. Let's get some infantry stacked up here. We're gonna need quite a bit in order to break through. Got an axeman unit there. What do we got coming here? Another axeman. Okay, let's send a cavalry overload out here. Oof, that skirmisher warband got a hold of us and it didn't feel too great. Alright, let's see what we can do. Troops. Let's send a pony infantry up here. Let's go bust these gates. It's gonna start a little bit of fighting here on the edges. Spear Warband hasn't gotten into phalanx. I'm not in phalanx. They are now, so that's gonna be a bit of a messy fight for me. This is not what I want. Let's see. So the Libyans headed over to knock out the gates. Let's try to overwhelm that axeman, and let's do the same here. How's this going? Not good. Could be better. Alright, I'm gonna see if we can just like overload these axemen, and it worked. Okay, so we're gonna get a break in over here. We can now transfer all of this. No. I want you right through here. Get inside the gates.
Your soldiers have brought the ram to
And
the gates.
let's get into a phalanx formation here. Alright, get over here. Attack these guys. There we go. So I should be able to put a flank attack. Yep, immediately got through those axemen. How are we doing over here? 199 to 142. I mean, I think that fight's going pretty darn good for me, at least at the moment. If I can get my pointy back into formation. It's not great. We're surviving.
The cowardly enemy have lost the walls.
Let's get out of a hoplite phalanx and just start trying to rip through that skirmisher warband.
Now order them on and
Head
hound
into
the
the
enemy.
gates. Let's see if we can go for an overwhelm. Yeah, their spear warband are not in an effective phalanx formation right now. Leaves our cavalry locked into some heavy combat, which is really not ideal. But I'm kind of hoping that this skirmisher warband, like we can push through it, but it is not working. So instead, I'm just taking a crap ton of cavalry losses at the moment. We have a big blob of a fight over here. Alright, the spear warband is getting shaken up. It's good news. Hoping maybe numbers can come into play here. Like if I get enough troops in the vicinity, might get a frightened by numbers. These guys keep wavering between shaken and not shaken. Oh, I just need to touch this fight over here. Can I push through there? Not easily. Skirmisher warband. Come on, rout, you stupid spear idiots. Wow, that was lucky. I did not expect that. And that is good news, because it caused a mass rout now. Oh yeah, we We're in business. We're in business, folks. It may not have been the prettiest fight you've ever seen, but we're in business. What is this over here? Chosen Archer Warband, huh? Skirmisher Warband. Okay, it's making sure. Just a Skirmisher Warband. Let's go run it down. Get in here, General. Let's get these Chosen Archer Warband and then try and get some infantry up to support my cavalry that's fighting by the town center. It's mostly just against Skirmish Warband, though, and regrouped Axemen, so my cavalry ought to do okay, to be honest. Ought to do just fine, in fact. Routed the Chosen Archers. I think this is it, folks. I think Germania has just coughed up the 50th settlement for me. So I think that's ultimate victory here. Long campaign victory for Carthage with the capture of Rome. See if we get any kind of cutscene or like any acknowledgement of her. Yeah, I got some having a bale, having a ball, I think is what it meant. Very large. Hang on, I got some achievements, some Steve achievements. I'll check those out. Yeah, there it is, victory. The world is yours, and so is victory. No other power can threaten the greatness that Carthage has achieved under your inspired and profitable leadership. This is a day to celebrate, a day to consider the shape of a world under its new Carthaginian overlords. Folks, hope you have enjoyed this one. Heir of Carthage, bringing you an Imperial Carthage campaign victory. Hannibal having led the decisive shift in power in the Mediterranean, the ancient Mediterranean, and the awakening of obviously what would be a much larger Carthaginian empire. So many what ifs, so much fun. Appreciate CA and Feral for this one. This game has been absolutely fun and created some fantastic opportunities for me to have a really good time with some content on my channel, and so many of you viewed it, and I appreciate that. We had some fun twists and turns. Egypt jumping, like gang piling onto me. Same thing with Iceni, Germania, Macedon, Greece, everybody trying to pile up on us. And we did it anyway, and it was fun. So, hope y'all enjoyed it. Heir of Carthage signing out from the Carthage campaign, Remastered. Who knows, maybe I'll see you all in something like this again one day. Rome 3? Rome 3? Maybe. Heir of Carthage signing out. See you then.